not want to have to resand this. Yeah, baby. It was the Super Bowl last night. We'll dive in head first, no solid plan. We'll make it up.
All right. Hey, we wanted to show you some stuff that we're talking about remodeling here in our workout room. And so, man, we've been so blessed to have this room, and we got lots of stuff that we're just wanting to change in here. Probably getting rid of this medicine cabinet over here because the baby gets in there very easily. Yeah, I know it's going away. And so, see our mirror wall, and when we originally did the room, we just went, man, these tiled mirrors were so much cheaper than getting a giant mirror, so that's why we did that. One of the things we want to change is this TV is not right in front of the treadmill. We're probably going to try to move that over, which means probably changing some stuff with one of these outlets. Got some painting and other things and other decorations we're wanting to do in the room, but man, we really have loved this room. This fan is sweet. It's awesome to have a big fan in the room while we're working out.
All right, first things first, we got to move this monstrosity out of here. We've actually used this mainly as a medicine cabinet, but with a little toddler running around now, not really the best idea. So that has got to go.
I just have to cut some of that off too.
Yeah, we might get a Oreo that's better.
Yeah, but like this is,
I mean, those are usually like that wide. So
I can at least, I'll trim it at least. Maybe I don't take the whole thing.
Okay.
We realized pretty quickly that this crack had been repaired with drywall tape, which was a pain in the butt. When you have a house that's continuing to settle, those cracks just keep forming and it pushes that tape out, which makes it really, really hard to sand and repair.
Those stupid strings. Not want to have to resand this. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, clearly I was having a little bit of a crash out over these strings, but I eventually got it good enough.
I'm gonna putty in this corner here. There's a big gap here, so I'm gonna fill that in. I'm letting that area dry over there. Let's get on this.
Like I said, this house is full of cracks, as you can see here with this wall completely separating.
Okay, these down here, this might need a little bit more than just putty, but I'm gonna let that dry, maybe do another coat.
Next, we decided to remove all of this trim. I love it, it's beautiful, but in the workout room on this wall, it gets in the way.
Yeah, baby.
I was very proud, clearly, to get that off in one piece. Not quite sure what that noise was that I made, but anyways, this looked pretty good underneath, but you could tell there had been many layers of paint over the years. So there was definitely some scraping and a whole lot of sanding trying to get it smooth. But all in all, the sheetrock underneath was in good shape, which is really important. So while I was doing all of this, Stephen was doing some electrical on the other side.
All right, here's the view from our treadmill. And so we had the TV here just to where it could kind of be in between both that and our spin bike. But we want to move the TV right in front of the treadmill. We're going to move that over, and I also want to hide those cords and just some minor electric work, probably put an extra outlet up here as well.
As soon as Stephen started working, he realized he was missing some supplies, so he must have used them at church, but off to the Home Depot he went. I continued to take stuff off the wall and patch holes while he did that. And then he eventually got back and he was able to move that outlet up. So thankful he is handy and is capable of doing some of these small tasks so we don't have to hire a professional. But don't try this at home unless you know what you're doing.
It's about to be break time. Baby woke up. Hello. Anyways, got a really big mess in here. Steven's finishing up a little bit of electrical. We're gonna go have lunch and then go to the park. Daddy and Jackie are gonna walk and play, and I'm gonna go for a little run.
So yeah, before we take off for lunch, Stephen just wanted to get a little bit more done on this. So he's got that electrical outlet moved up. He's got the box in there and he's wiring in the outlet, and he'll turn on the power here in a sec.
All right, let's test it. We've got power.
All right, right, clearly it is a new day. I am in my jersey. We had Jersey Sunday at church for the Super Bowl. So I'm wearing a Forrest Gump jersey from the movie. So, anyways, just doing a little bit, trying to get something done every single day so that this project doesn't take forever, which it did end up taking forever. I'm always dancing. I'm sorry. But here I'm just getting a little bit of cleanup done. I don't know what that was, but I'm starting to edge out. I'm not taping. We actually are going to paint all of this trim. So there's no need to really tape at this point. And I don't like wasting my time taping. I hate it. So I will have to tape later in this project, but not today. Speaking of, it's a new day. Did you watch the Super Bowl? What do we think? I know it's been a few weeks. Maybe we've all processed.
Jackie's napping right now. My goal is to get the wall on the opposite, the one that I started trimming out yesterday. That's the first wall we want to get complete. Just kind of make this a little bit more functional and usable, because right now it is not. However, this back wall is going to be dark. We thought about going and getting some primer and like priming this whole wall and then painting it the dark color. Steven had the idea of taking the cream color that we're doing on the other walls and kind of just painting where the trim was, just to kind of seal it and give it at least one coat of paint. So then when we go to paint the dark over it, hopefully it'll look more cohesive. Obviously I did not work out in here this morning because I cannot. I will show you what it looks like in a second, but it is a mess. I work out in the garage. I just didn't. It was the Super Bowl last night, so we stayed up. We were out late, not a lot of sleep. Back to work. Here's what we are looking like in here. So yeah, just a little bit of a mess. I'm gonna go get the paint out of the fridge and get to working on that while the baby naps.
I wish I could say that this worked perfectly, but it did not. Sadly, I did end up having to still sand some spots after this dried and do a little bit more putty spackling just to fill in some of the gaps a little bit. But it's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough. It's a workout room, for goodness sakes. Anyways, back to the edging I go.
I'm gonna have to move the treadmill. Hold that thought.
Looking back, I wish we would have emptied the room a little bit more before we started this project, but it is what it is. We worked around it and made it work.
The right thing to do is to take the shelf down. I took the shelf off, so here we go.
The battle I had with myself about whether or not to take that shelf down, because I knew it was going to go right back up where it was, but I went ahead, did the right thing, took the shelf down, worked on all the edging. Here is our first issue that we had. Oh my goodness. I started rolling with an old roller that we had that was cheap and covered in fuzz, so it was sticking to the wall. Steven came in and we kind of wiped it down with a rag, let it dry, and all in all, when we came back and did a second, technically a second and third coat on that wall, it looked fine. We didn't have to go in and sand, which is what we were kind of worried about. So lesson learned, don't use old rollers and make sure to delint them first.
That is going to have to be all for now. I am going to need to go back in and do a second coat. I've never bought a paint that says one coat. It is actually one coat. Maybe it's my technique or my tools. I think this is going to look okay over here. That's all she wrote for now. I'm back. It's a new day. Same painting shirt. It's fine. But today's plan is to get this wall edged and painted, get a second coat on those other two walls, and then we'll see about getting to this wall.
Again, more cleaning before I can work because this room is still full of all its crap. But it's fine. It's fine. And sorry, more dancing. So yeah, apparently I did not put the lid on that can very well yesterday. So kind of got paint everywhere. And let me tell you, I'm so mad at myself. I did not realize how much paint I was getting all over these darn rubber floors. It looked like drywall dust and sanding, which most of it was. There was a lot of that as well because I sanded so much. So the mess that I've had to deal with. You can see me watching YouTube in the background. I had to hook up the TV so that I had something to entertain me because this process It takes so long. It's sped up 10 times right now, so it's hard to see how long this actually takes to edge, especially when you're not using tape. You do have to take your time. But I enjoy it. It's fun. Currently, I'm watching Fearfully Created on YouTube on the TV in the mirror. You can see it. She is my favorite. She is turning her mobile home into a mobile mansion and she loves Jesus. And I love her so much. So if you haven't heard of Marina from Fearfully Created, go check out her channel. She is just such a delight to watch. Okay, for now, enough of my voice. Let's listen to some music.
We met on a Tuesday, burned through the night. Skipped all the small talk, went straight to the fight. Of loving too fast and not asking why. We're crashing like waves, but it feels like we fly. No rules, no plans, no second guess. We'll figure it out in the chaos mess. Let's not overthink this, just take my hand.
Those two walls are done, aside from painting the trim. So I need to paint that door frame over there with a cream color. And then the trim on the walls is going to be the dark color that's going on this wall. But first I'm going to do the second coat over here so that can get all dry. And oh, I didn't finish the first cut there.
We'll dive in head first, no solid plan. We'll make it up as we go. Who cares if we don't know? Let's not overthink this. Let's just call it love. Your laugh's too loud, my car won't start. But you drew your name in a Sharpie heart. On my leather jacket, we just don't care. We're making forever.
All right, I'm done. I've got two coats on all the walls that are going to be this color. My phone's about to die and I'm almost out of space. So I'm going to have to go put it on the charger and get some videos off of it. But I'm almost ready to start trim. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I have praise practice tonight at 6:30. I don't think I'm going to get the trim painted today. This might be all that I get done tonight.
Okay, that was all that I was able to get done that night, but Stephen came in and started hanging some stuff up while I was at praise practice so that it could be ready for Treadmill Tuesday. Anyways, back to the music.
We're making forever right then and there. No what ifs, no what thens tonight. It's all in the sparks when we catch that light. Let's not over.
Okay, it's another day. As you can see, Stephen has gotten some stuff hung back up on the wall. So my plan for today, while the baby is napping, is to get this trim painted. I am gonna tape this. I'm gonna paint this wall. And then I also need to paint this trim. First up is taping. Oh.
Let's not overthink this. Just take my hand. We'll dive in head first. No solid plan. We'll make it up as we go. Who cares if we don't know? Let's not overthink this. Let's just call it love. We could fall, we could burn, but that's how the best stories turn. Every bad idea feels right when you're with me tonight. Let's not overthink this.
5 hours later. I finally got all the taping done. That literally took me an hour. This is why I don't normally tape. I'm gonna open up the dark color that's going on the back wall and going on all of this trim that I just taped. But like first, this is one of my favorite things about painting. This is so satisfying. I used to like rinse these and rinse the trays, and then I had a friend at church one time. We had been doing a bunch of painting at our old church that said, you know, if you just let it dry, it peels right out. What? Oh my gosh, look at that, so satisfying. Pop open that blue can and see what it looks like. I'm excited, but also really nervous. What if we don't like the color? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Let's not overthink this. Just take my hand.
That is gonna be right.
We'll dive in head first, no solid plan. We'll make it up as we go. Who cares if we don't know? Let's not overthink this. Let's just call it love. Let's just call it love.
Good news, this paint is drying darker than the bright of the wet, which I figured it would. It always does, but it always makes me nervous when I open it and it looks like a giant Smurf. So, anywho, first coat done on that wall. Now to the other two walls.
Okay, I will admit I was very glad that I took the time to tape around the trim this time, not only because it's such a bright, vibrant color that I'm painting against the cream, but just painting trim with all these different grooves and all these different angles. It would have been really, really difficult for me to do it without taping. A lot more difficult than painting like the edge against the ceiling. Then Supervisor Joy reporting for duty. She is always close by me.
So the first coat of the trim is painted. I'm gonna let that dry and I'm gonna edge out this wall. It's 12 o'clock, so I don't know how much I'm gonna get done because the baby's probably gonna wake up soon.
This paint ended up looking really, really good, but I will say it is way brighter than I expected it to be. I chose the paint based on the pictures online, which I know is never a good idea, but all in all, it worked out and it looks great. It is just a lot more blue, a lot brighter than I was planning. We were trying to go for more of a gray blue so it would match our logo a little bit more. But anyways, this wound up still being a beautiful color and I want to find more places to use it in my home. Jackie wound up waking up pretty quickly, so this was pretty much all I got done on this day.
It is a new day. It is Thursday, and this peel. My goal today is to get this back wall painted and the trim finished, and then we'll see where we're at with Jackie's nap.
All right, here we are. No turning back now. This dark blue is going all over this back wall. So watch and enjoy some music.
Sunlight's hitting the floorboards like a broken glass pane. I'm dragging this body through the shadows and the rain. I reach for the handle, looking for a little heat.
The first coat is done. Obviously, it's gonna need a second coat. And now I just need to do a second coat on the trim for these two walls. And then hopefully that'll be dry enough for me to do the second coat there.
But the pipes just rattle on like a heart skipping a beat. Yeah, it's 40 degrees and the air's turning blue. Just another morning with nothing to hold on to. Got no hot water and the fire's gone out of the furnace. Just a cold hard truth scratching at the surface. It ain't just the skin that's feeling the bite. It's a shiver in my soul in the middle of the light. Yeah, the spark is gone, the flames turn black.
Okay, sorry I have to interrupt, but is there anything more satisfying than pulling tape?
All of my layers are done. The only thing I am probably gonna be able to do is I'm gonna do this trim and then I'm gonna touch up a couple spots with the cream. Baby is still napping. She should be getting up at any time.
All right, onto the bottom trim. Something I had to be really careful of as I was doing this makeover is my knee. Obviously, it is not 100%. It's really, really good. You can see I have it bent here, but I did have to straighten it frequently. I can get on my knees, but I had to be very intentional with how I crawled around, so it definitely made it more difficult at times.
It is another day. It is a new week, actually. It has been a few days since I've done anything in here. Steven was actually out of town. I wasn't able to get in here for like 4 days, but I'm back. There's some spots that I think I'm gonna have to do a third coat and then get a projector in here so that we can project the design that's going on the back wall, and I can hopefully start that process. I am not feeling great, which is also why I didn't get in here. I was sick for a few of the days that Steven was gone. So we are gonna get done what we can get done while Jackie is napping.
The flames turn black. Oh, know how to water and she ain't coming back.
Let's see. Oh, that's gonna be annoying.
Okay, I have to clarify. That look was not for Stephen. I was so annoyed with my computer at this point because it kept timing out and messing everything up.
What did you do?
Okay, so that time I was a little bit annoyed. No, it really wasn't that big of a deal, but this projector was just so precariously placed on a stack of so many different things. So the slightest bump would just shift the image and mess it up.
Finally got this all traced. There were some technical difficulties multiple times with the computer timing out and then getting the image shifting, camera getting bumped and it shifting again, but it is good enough. So there it is without the projector. It is a new day. I was not incorrect, but the stenciling was all that I got done yesterday. So I was not able to get back to doing anything else. And bad news is the stomach bug has entered the chat. So I was up all night long with a throwing up toddler. Really good chance I'm gonna get sick. I want to just lay on the couch and do nothing, but I'm gonna try to get started on this because if I am gonna get sick, I'd like to get as much done as I can before that happens. So she's napping. I've got some little brushes. My daughter paints a lot, and so our oldest. So I went and rated her brushes so that I can do the little fine work. Let's see how much of this I can get done before I collapse.
Okay, this was actually very therapeutic for me. I had the TV going on behind me, just kind of listening and painting. This was a very long process. It's sped up really fast. I do slow it down to normal speed for a couple of the letters at some point so you can see, but if only I could draw that straight with a paintbrush that quickly. But back to the music we go.
I'm standing in the porcelain, staring at the wall, waiting for a vapor that never comes at all. Used to be a steam that would wash away the sins. Now it's just a mountain where the ice wind begins. Every drop's a needle, every splash is a lie. Like the way she looked me straight in the eye.
Okay, here's a little bit of that in real time.
A boiler, you can solder a pipe, but how do you thaw out a heart? It's turned to stone.
So yeah, you could see the difference in the sped up versus 10 times. It was definitely a long process, but it was a labor of love for sure. And honestly, it really was very therapeutic. We borrowed this projector from a friend at church and kind of makes me want to go buy one because I'm like, what else can I project on my walls and paint? But here I am filling it in now. Again, this is like super satisfying for me to watch sped up, even though I know how long it took to do it in real life. But it just, the way it fills in so fast is so fun to watch. But let's find some other music.
The cafe doors sway in the wind. The sidewalk crowd and lamplight shakes. A shadow stops as if it's pinned. The clock strikes 12. The city wakes. Time flows and takes us on. The night hides what we seek. I long for one who's gone. I wait for one unseen. The lamppost shines with gentle glow. A whisper lifts and fades from sight.
Okay, first coat is done. That's probably all I'm gonna do today. You can see it's definitely gonna need a second coat, which is obviously expected. Painting white on blue, but I think it looks so good.
All right, so just made the template with this box for where to make our holes.
Okay, folks, this is it. This is the last day. This is all we have left to do. Steven made this awesome template with a box so he could just go through and make his nail holes and then come back through with the nails, and then we get to hang the sign.
The city breathes like songs that flow. In park the light of hope burns bright. Time flows and takes us on. The night hides what we seek. I long for one who's gone. I wait for one unseen.
So we got 2 custom posters. We actually bought these frames for them, but it cut them off. And so since we did that, we're going to use thumbtacks for them, but at least they'll be straight. And so wanted to have one for Treadmill Tuesdays so we know what to do. And then we also have one that just shows what our speed is going to be in comparison to what it looks like pace per mile and what that would translate to for marathon time, 5K time, things like that. So we thought both of those would be great to have up, but we're going to thumbtack them up on the wall.
Okay, the workout room is complete. Finally, let me show you what we did. Okay, so not much changed here. This is where the weights have always been. Obviously, we moved the TV in front of the treadmill. The spin bike is still here. That'll probably shift forward some, actually. That does need to shift forward. We've got our posters with our pace, treadmill speed, and what those translate to 5K and marathon times. This treadmill actually does not show pace. So there is only speed. You can change the speed settings, but it doesn't tell you what that pace is. So I'm super thankful for that chart. This is Steven's Treadmill Tuesdays. Remember, each interval is run at a 6 minute per mile pace, which is the speed of 10, because that's what our chart shows. Our second half strong logo. This wall looks so good. I'm so proud of it. And then our signs. So these might be my favorite. Lunge, lift, run, and squat are probably my favorites of all of those. But anyways, there we go. We are all done, and I am ready to get back to working out in here regularly. Okay, that is all we have for you this week. Thank you for watching. I know this video was longer than what we normally have been putting out and a little bit different type of content, but it was really fun to remake this space and just make it a little bit more functional and beautiful at the same time. We have a lot coming up for the channel. Steven is working on a video right now for next week that is going to give some context and updates on him and what he's dealing with right now and how that is going to affect our channel moving forward for a little bit of time, not forever, but for a short period of time. But in the meantime, I have been running, and I'm really excited to start sharing more of that and how my injury recovery and my rebuilding process has been working. If you're not already, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know, are you team color on your walls, or are you team neutral? So we've always been pretty neutral. I do love pops of color, but I'm telling you, I am in love with this color and I want to find other places in my home to put it. So it's been a fun process. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, I know it's different than what we normally do, but I am down to do more of these type videos because this is my jam. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Tomorrow's promise still is heard. Time flows and takes us on